Woo! You finally watched it.
I did.
It
I
only took you
finally
2
came
fucking
around
weeks.
the bend.
Around the bend you came. Before we get on to discussing Fantastic Four, which I'm sure we will do in length and go off on many a tangents,
Heck
I've
yeah,
got
we
plenty of
will.
questions to ask you about it. But I've been reading some Fantastic Four comics.
Oh wow, that's exciting. Getting some
Yeah.
context.
I've been reading some Ultimate Fantastic Four, specifically, because I'm one of the very few people that doesn't hate the Fanforstic 2015 film. And Fanforstic is based off of the Ultimate comics quite a lot.
Okay.
Like, it's got, like, a lot of... Like, their origins is completely ripped from that comic, and, like, the whole body horror with their powers and stuff is very reminiscent of the comic. But I want to know more about the Maker, because the Maker is now, like, in the new... Like, have you seen the Ultimate Endgame thing? Did I send you that?
Yeah.
Yeah, they've put the Maker where Thanos would be on that poster. So
Oh, wow.
the Maker is, like, a big fucking deal now.
Yeah.
So I want to know more about the Maker, because I think it's only going to be a matter of time before we get him in live action, if we don't see him in Secret Wars or Doomsday or, you know, as like an Easter egg kind of character.
Right.
So
Yeah,
I'm quite excited for that. But I've been chugging along through Ultimate Fantastic Four, which a lot of people have said is bad. I'm like 5 issues in and I'm quite enjoying it. It's quite fast paced.
Well, I
Victor
think
Von Doom is Victor Van Damme.
yeah, I think a lot of people just don't like the Ultimate Universe in general.
Which is wild as well, because I like Elseworld multiverse stories.
Yeah.
And we get to see like an up-to-date new alternate like origin story for them. And it's very like... I'll send you a screenshot of one of the panels, but when Reed returns to Earth after getting his powers for the first time, he's like all extended out and like a fucking squid. Like, he's
wow.
flapping away and moving around and shit. It's creepy as fuck.
His powers are like one of the easiest to like make look horrible.
Yeah. The Thing, like, wakes up just as a rock and is like,
God.
doesn't have any realization that he's the Thing now. And, like, a truck drives, like, straight into him and gets
Oh my
completely
gosh.
bodied. And he's like, what the fuck?
Oh gosh.
There's some interesting shit going on with that so far, but yeah. That's where I am with comics. What are you doing?
I mean, I'm still doing the Secret Wars stuff.
You're getting there slowly. You had a little detour to AI, didn't you?
I did, but I'm now back on the official Avengers run. Avengers AI was crazy. I can see why people skip it, but it was pretty interesting if you're into Hank Pym and artificial intelligence, which I'm
There's
actually
a reason
not.
it wasn't on your reading order that I
Which
gave
is
you.
crazy. Honestly, I kind of read it more for the Vision
That's fair.
because he was pretty cool in it.
I think Vision's
Yeah.
a very underutilized. Like, in terms of the MCU, he's quite underutilized. But I'm
Yeah.
excited for Vision Quest.
Yeah, me too.
There's going to be a lot that they can mess around with that, especially because they're bringing back like Ultron. They're meant to be bringing in Jocasta. There's a lot of characters that are kind of in that
The
technology
coolest
sphere.
thing was that you had asked me if I knew who that was, and I didn't know at all. I tried to take a guess, and it wasn't right. But she's in Avengers AI, so I got to meet her a little bit and see what's going on there. Not for a very like long period of time, but just for a little bit. You know, it was cool. I was like, oh, now I know who that is. It's awesome.
I still, like, I've not read anything with her in. I just know her by, like, the visual of her.
Yeah.
But there is Tom King, who does some of the Batman stuff. I think he did the Bat and the Cat wedding that was so well received. Which, just on a detour, like a side note real quick, if anybody ever says that, like, a comic book run is bad, just read it anyway, because you might enjoy it.
Yeah.
Like, for example, with the Fantastic Four shit, like, I'm enjoying it so far, and I have a feeling that the Bat and the Cat wedding is not as bad as people say it is.
Yeah.
We'll see, but
It's also
the
like
jury's still out.
It's a good idea to read things that aren't necessarily polished completely, in my opinion. You have to be able to see, like, different levels of skill in different things. Like, I don't understand people who only want to watch good stuff, period. Like, they're wasting their time if they watch something that's not perfect.
Yeah, there's gonna be some trash thrown in there.
Yeah, a little bit of trash. You gotta be appreciative of the good stuff when it comes around.
I think that then also when something is like, I saw somebody say that about the Spider-Man films because they were shitting on like the Homecoming trilogy, and somebody responded and was like, you need to watch more bad films because these are not bad films.
Yeah, there are plenty of very like terrible films out there.
Yeah, people are just, you get to the point where if you only watch good stuff, you start calling that good stuff bad to a degree. But my point was that Tom King wrote a Vision series, and it's a very, very like well-known Vision series, and I haven't read it yet, but it's only like 6 issues, I think, maybe 8 issues, but
that's not bad.
It introduces his kids. It's like his side, like his version of WandaVision, where he kind of goes through the grief of losing Billy and Tommy, and like how he kind of copes with it.
People do kind of forget Vision is actually a part of all that. It's not just Scarlet Witch doing it by herself. Like, he still had kids and experienced fatherhood and got it ripped away from him, you know? All terrible things.
Yeah. So yeah, that's like the equivalent to, it's like Vision's version of House of M, I guess. So I would recommend that, even though I've not read it yet. But when I do read it, I'm sure that I'll bring it up in one of the episodes. But yeah. So whereabouts are you on your Avengers? What happened last? Are you at Infinity yet?
I am in Infinity currently.
Ooh.
Right now, we're kind of, it's slow going. I'm still at the first stages of Infinity. Actually, yeah, because I had just finished the new Avengers Infinity portion, and then I switched to the Avengers Infinity portion. Which I did also read in Humanity, that issue. You had said you didn't know if I needed to. It was worth it, I think.
It mentions it at the end of one of the issues, I think, of like Black Bolt and the Inhumans are now going to go off and do this event.
Right.
But when I read it, I didn't bother. I was like, I don't really care that much about the Inhuman storyline.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Infinity event is a pretty, it's not what I thought it was going to be anyway, like the storyline for it.
Yeah.
Did you do the Silver Surfer issue?
I did. That was a beautiful comic book. I kind of want to own it.
God.
Like,
yeah, the art for that is amazing.
Insane.
I knew you were going to like the art for that.
Oh my god. That and then Hunger too were both like crazy visuals, crazy art, just non-stop, like psychedelic shit. It's crazy.
Yeah. They did that storyline where, like, is the Silver Surfer helping Skrulls in that?
Yes. Yep, yeah, it's a village of, like a, well, I think it was the Skrulls and the Kree were fighting, and then Galactus shows up, and the Silver Surfer is trying to get them to stop fighting, all that stuff. So,
the Builders. The old Builders.
Oh, I have, yeah, we've just had a conversation in the new Avengers run between the Builders and like the Illuminati.
Yeah.
That was pretty crazy. They basically told them to destroy their own universe.
Well,
and to
that
save
is
themselves.
The solution.
So.
Because I think, like, in theory, if you destroy your Earth, that doesn't mean that, like, you have to die. They could, like, destroy Earth and still escape.
Right.
And, like,
exactly.
universe hop, because that's what the Builders do anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Builder War, I think I'm gonna have to reread the Builder War.
Clearly the Builders are there to destroy the universe when it needs to be destroyed, which I thought that they were there to help. They were the ones who made the Star Brand, right?
I think so.
But that the universe,
because I'm pretty certain he's got the ability to destroy planets.
Yeah. And so his, like, the one in that universe malfunctioned because the builders in that universe were all taken out. So they're on their own now, really. But I am interested.
It's been a while since I fucking read any of that shit.
The Starbrand stuff is crazy. Honestly, I'm kind of interested in that because the character they got to become the Starbrand was like a fucking Unabomber to his school.
Oh yeah,
it was crazy.
I remember that bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely need to go back and reread a lot of the Build a War Infinity stuff because it's been like 6 months since I read it, and I have not retained a lot of it. But I'm trying to like get to that point in the Fantastic Four in the Ultimate Run, and then I can kind of like bring it all together. But this period that we're in, for like 2012, I want to say, to like 2016-ish, is branded as being Marvel Now. And Marvel Now is, I would say, commonly perceived, or generally perceived, as being a bad era in Marvel. Because they introduced a lot of diverse characters.
Oh, jeez.
And they advertised it as being like an agenda to introduce new characters. So you got new characters like Miss Marvel, like Kamala Khan, Miss Marvel. Amadeus Cho became Totally Awesome Hulk. You've got America Chavez. Like, there was a bunch of new characters introduced or redesigned.
Right.
Riri Williams made her debut. That kind of stuff. How are you finding it?
I definitely prefer it over the really old dated stuff. As much as, like, the old stuff is really cool to go back and read to see how everything like became what it is now. It's like story-wise and art style-wise, I'm definitely preferring this era of comics more.
Yeah.
But I mean, I've not read any like in the 2000s era, which I'm sure I would probably enjoy that too. It's just when you get into the like real old stuff that I'm a little bit more hesitant to start reading it.
Yeah. I've really been enjoying anything after the year 2000. I've really enjoyed.
Yeah.
Like, I went through just hitting the big events from, like, Disassembled, House of M. I haven't done Secret Invasion yet because I want to do, like, the whole event, like the build-up and the event itself. But, like, with Siege and Dark Reign and all that kind of stuff, there's a lot of big events that kind of roll over into each other. And I think that it's, like... It's been my favourite shit to do. I think it's a very iconic era of Marvel, and I think that, like, when people... I don't know, people always talk about classic Marvel, and I feel like when they talk about it, they're not really meaning classic Marvel, they mean mid to late 2000s Marvel.
Yeah.
Because even if comic book sales were declining, I think that's less about the quality of the comic and more about just the world that we're in.
Yeah, and the economy at the time, and people were everything was going digital at that point.
Exactly.
So there's less actual comic sales. You know, pirating got so much easier.
Speaking of pirating, Ryan, you watched the Fantastic Four.
I did in the movie theater. And I did not pirate it.
You didn't watch it illegally?
I did not. I waited to see it on the big screen.
So, how was your cinema experience?
It was okay, except for the fact that the people in front of us were, like, talking throughout a lot of it. But, you know, you just tune them out.
I find it really uncomfortable when you go with people, and the people that you're with are the ones doing the talking. I feel so, like, I get such secondhand embarrassment.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, if it's trailers, then fair enough. But as soon as that film starts, shut up.
Yeah.
Because you're then ruining it for somebody else. I hate it so much.
I try not to talk in the theater. I just look over and make excited faces when cool things are happening that I need to talk about later.
So I haven't been able to tell my story on one of these yet because we haven't spoken about the film because we've been waiting for you to watch it. Mm-hmm. But when I went... for the first time, so I've been twice. When I went for the first time, We sat down, watched all the trailers, watched the trailer for Fantastic Four, then realised we were in a Jurassic World screening. Yeah. And I've never been more embarrassed in my entire... Like, as soon as the title card popped up, me and the person that I was with looked at each other, looked back at the screen, then looked at each other again and were like, shit.
That's so funny.
We had to, like, grab everything. We'd both bought fucking food. We had, like, nachos and energy drinks, the lot. And we were, like... I had my fucking action figures that I'd bought beforehand in a bag next to me.
All spread out, just, like, comfortable.
Yeah, everything was just splayed out. And I had to, like, scoop everything into a bag. And then we got into the cinema, like, into the screening next door. And sat down. Like, the fucking trailers hadn't even started, and we were, like, pissing ourselves laughing.
Oh, my God.
And then we, like, looked at each other like, shit, we've left the energy drinks. So I had to then go back into it when the film had started, and then, like, smuggle out the energy drinks from where we'd been sat. It was so fucking stupid.
That's insane. People were probably
never
pissed.
done that before. Probably, but
just walking across
it's a Jurassic movie, so... They probably left unhappy anyway.
Yeah. Petitions to put the names outside of the theaters of the movie you're watching, because clearly you need them.
Exactly. Just have above the screen. Why do they not have, like, a rotating thing that just says, like, okay, well, this screen's playing Fantastic Four? Why not have that as, like, a little sign thing that you can just flip off and on? That would be cool.
Yeah.
But usually I don't have that issue, but... So that was fucking embarrassing as shit. So yeah, fucking hell, I don't even know where to start with even asking. I spent like 45 minutes reviewing this film already, but I mostly spoke about like the characters and shit. How did you... Let's just start like straight up. Did you enjoy the film?
I think I left the movie theater pleased. It went in a lot of directions I didn't expect it to. I kind of went in expecting a specific thing to happen and it didn't. So it was kind of interesting.
When we recorded the last 616 yesterday and I was talking about how much money... when I said that they wanted to cast unknowns as the X-Men, and I was like, because they have to pay Robert Downey Jr. too much money. I almost spoiled it because I was going to say... You know, like when he makes a cameo in a Fantastic Four film, they have to pay him $50 million for it.
But did he actually make a cameo?
So, did you stay for the thing? Did you stay for the end credits?
Yeah, I saw, but it was just a dude in a cloak with a mask. Like, they could have had anybody do that scene.
Yeah, but according to Vanessa Kirby, it was RDJ.
Why would they not show his face? That's so stupid.
Because then they've got to fucking pay him.
We have to have RDJ in this scene, but we're gonna have him hunched over in a cloak. So you can't see anything about him, any physical features that could be identifiable.
I think it's going to be...
Just put a random motherfucker there.
I think it's going to be similar to Thunderbolts, whereas this is going to be a scene directly from Doomsday.
Yeah.
And then, like, obviously where that scene cut off, it will pan around and you'll see RDJ in the actual film.
Hopefully it means that they're actually not going to do what I claimed they were going to do, which was just do a stunt double for him every time he's got the mask on. So maybe it will actually be RDJ playing him consistently.
Yeah.
But I thought they just gave him another masked character so he could do shit, like do just voice acting.
No, according to Kirby, she said that, like, any time that Doom is on set, like, RDJ is there. Like, full mask, full costume, the lot.
Interesting.
Like, it's never anybody else, it's always him, which I thought was interesting. But yeah, so we'll loop back around and we'll talk about Doom in a bit, because there's a lot.
I was not expecting them to put Doom in this movie.
Did you like the little Latveria Easter egg?
I did. That was one of the excited faces I made, because I was like, it's Latveria.
Yeah.
He's not there.
When I went the second time, I don't think my friend got it straight away. I was like, look, Latveria! And he kind of, like, frowned at me, and then, like, a couple of seconds later, he was like, oh! It kind of clicked, and I was like, yeah, it's a cool little Easter egg. So we're in, what is it, Earth 828?
I think
as a reference to Jack Kirby's birthday, which is pretty cool.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I think they mention it in part of the credits.
Wow.
So how did you feel, just like the structure of the film, the pacing of the film, the plot? Speak your mind.
I know that we said a lot that we wanted like an actual movie about their origins, but I mean, I guess I could kind of see with the story they were trying to tell, it would have taken up a lot of time to actually do their origins and not in that montage style, which like is kind of like an origins for them, you know? We don't actually see exactly what happened in space, but I don't think we really need to know like how they became heroes and started this.
I think the way that they did it in the film with like, you get to see some of the footage of like before they go up into space,
it was
and
like
then as they're leaving, they like overlay the sound, which I thought was cool.
It was like a news segment.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool. Plus, like, the aesthetics of the movie in general were pretty, like, beautiful. I really enjoyed the retro style.
Yeah.
And, I mean, the acting, I enjoyed all the actors. I mean, I didn't expect to enjoy Joseph Quinn. Obviously, we've gone over that.
Yeah,
but
we've pre-established that we've both had to eat hats.
Yeah, you know, I take it all back. I take it all back. He was
listen, I got out there early. I said it when the trailers dropped. I was like, you know what? I'm fucking getting ahead of it. I reckon he's going to be good. I changed my mind.
He was such a little shit.
He was.
Definitely.
But he was an endearing little shit.
Yeah, because he still cared about them and, like, was a part of the family. He wasn't, like, emo
he wasn't just a dickhead for being a dickhead.
Yeah, plus him, like, being able to decode the language.
Yeah, I was so glad that they gave him that subplot.
Dude, that was insane. I was expecting Sue to be the one to do that, because she was all into, like, the, what's it called? What's it called when you, I can't think of the word.
I don't know what you're on about, so I don't know.
Well, she was, like, working with the Future Foundation, doing the stuff with, like, Mole Man and everything, which the Mole Man storyline was pretty cool.
She's more of like a multi, I don't want to say multicultural, she's much more of like a bilingual, working with different countries, meeting different people.
Delegator is not the word, but it's the only one that's coming into my head. It's
Negotiator,
yeah.
She's like, I kind of get what you mean.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that, like, because in the previous films, they never, like, the Michael B. Jordan Johnny was just, like, an adrenaline junkie.
Yeah.
The Chris Evans Johnny was just, like, the prankster celebrity guy.
Yeah.
They never really go into how clever he is, which I thought was a nice change.
Or how much he, like, loves space, because he, like, I think usually, like, doesn't he sneak into the, like, in some kind of original origin for the Fantastic Four, he, like, sneaks into, because he's too young to go on the trip, but he really wants to go with them. I have no idea. There's something like that where he's like, he really likes space, he wants to be an astronaut, but he's too young to go. But in this, obviously, they had him on the team. But it was nice to see that. And then, him immediately being into the alien was very Johnny Stormcore.
I liked that at every opportunity he was like, remember the spacesuits? Come on, we're gonna plan a second trip.
Gotta go back to space, please.
And he was so.
It makes sense
because so excited.
He would be the best in space.
Yeah.
Out of all of them, he's the one who I expect to actually go into space when they build him, like, an actual suit that he could be out there for a while. Like, he would be the best one to do that.
How did you feel about Pedro Pascal?
I thought he was good. I mean, I don't really like Mr. Fantastic, so that was what kind of sucked, because I still didn't really enjoy his character all that much. But it was interesting, all the stuff with, like, because he's so logical, and all the stuff with his kid where he's trying to save his kid and the world, but he doesn't know how to do both. And, like, him and, like, Sue getting mad at him for even thinking of, like, the bad possibilities, the bad outcomes, or, like, what would be the worst option. But, like, that's what he's known for.
Yeah. He's, like, when they have that that was probably one of my favourite scenes between the two of them, because it felt so much like... They fight so much in the fucking comics.
Yeah.
But that fight in particular reminded me of the panels from Civil War where they split up, because obviously they're on different sides of the Civil War.
Yeah.
And I could totally see storylines like that now playing out in live action with these versions of the characters, because they aren't afraid to, like, have a go at each other.
Yeah.
And push each other around and, like, say what they think. And I think that what makes it even more interesting is that you can see it from both perspectives. You can see it from, like, Sue. Of course she would be upset that he's even considering giving their kid up, but at the same time you understand how he's gotten to that logical, you know, he has to consider it. You would consider it.
Yeah.
Like, you're torn between the two, and you get it from both sides, which is what I liked.
And then they're using him as bait, and she gets so mad, but she still comes around in the end to, like, because she knows it's the only option, it's the best plan, because when he gets there, he's gonna be looking for the kid anyway.
And it's such like an old cartoony kind of bait and switch plan.
Yeah.
Like,
really
this big giant is coming, let's just, like, distract him and then swap the kid out, and he'll hopefully not realise. They're so naive, which I think speaks to the world that they're in.
Yeah, it's definitely... I mean, it was definitely, like, a wake-up call for them. They had never... experienced something of that magnitude. I can only imagine how it felt to actually go to see Galactus and to see how powerless your like world actually is to this great threat, and to meet him and then have to, like, try to find a way to not have him eat your world. Like, that's an insanely difficult problem. And then when they get to Earth, everyone's like, you've already defeated him. Like, no, bro, he's not defeatable. He is not. We're not doing shit to him. So that was
How
that was
did
rough.
you when they travel to that planet, because they're tracking the Silver Surfer signatures, and then suddenly the planet, like, tears apart, and you get that long shot of the ship making its way through the planet. What did you think of, like, Galactus having a ship, the way that they did that? And then, like, them meeting Galactus for the first time.
Yeah, it was still haunting and like an interesting... I see why they did it, especially because they had to have the actual Fantastic Four fight him alone. Like, you can't do your cosmic horror Galactus and have it just be these 4 fucking people fighting him. Like, so I kind of understand why they made him into, like, just a giant dude in a ship.
Yeah, a kaiju in a spaceship.
So, I mean, I think it looked visually cool, and it makes sense that the ship helps him do that and then process everything.
Yeah, like the feeding tubes. I thought that was cool.
I wonder, though, is, like... I guess, that would be his, like, actual form in the ship. But, like, when he connects to the ship, does he become part of the ship? I don't know.
I think I wanted to quote Pirates of the Caribbean then, because there's a fucking part of the ship, part of the crew quote. But I kind of see it as, like, I think he does become part of the ship. I think it is kind of, like, all sort of connected to him Brainiac style.
Yeah.
Because when he's scanning them initially, you can see that he can do that with his eyes, but he clearly does it with the ship initially.
Yeah, that's true.
So I think it's all kind of connected to him in a way. And I think that, like, the way that his armor kind of moves and looks looks exactly like the interior of the ship, so I think it's all kind of just built into him and built around him and stuff. But I thought that, like, when they're stood there and Silver Surfer is like, you stand before Galactus and his eyes light up.
Yeah.
And his silhouette slowly appears. I thought all of that was sick.
It was very, very cool.
What did you think of just his design, his voice?
When he was out in the daylight, I thought he looked a little cheesy, but, kind of hard. But his voice was chilling. And, like, him in the ship kind of took over. Like, when he's actually on Earth, you can tell he's not devouring it yet, so that's not where he is scary. That was him just looking for something to take back, so it makes sense.
Would you think this is like early in his life or like late in his, like, do you think that he's using the ship as like a support for him because he's not gotten to the cosmic horror side, or do you think that he's past that and he's just become complacent?
I would, with the way that it was portrayed, I would say he seemed older, because he seemed so, like, I guess, ready to end it. He was done with his hunger. He wanted, like, someone else to take his place. But then also the Fantastic Four only found those couple planets that he had destroyed, but maybe that was all that they could scan for. Like, that was all that was in their field of, like, being able to view
they were working with limited technology.
So maybe he did go destroy a bunch more planets before he even got Shalabal as the Silver Surfer. So, I mean, I think he seemed very old, in my personal opinion.
Because there's been a lot of talk, as there always is, about the power scaling. And, how are they able to... I mean, they don't... We'll kind of loop back around and talk about the final acts more in detail, but I don't really feel like they ever do fight him.
Yeah.
Like, they try to, but he's clearly on, like, a completely different level until we get to the very end of the film.
Yeah.
But yeah, what was your... Do you have, like, a favourite scene in the entire film? Or, like, a sequence? Anything that stood out in particular?
Honestly, when Johnny was talking to the Silver Surfer and she's freaking out because she's hearing her own language coming from all the... Get down! She's
You're just being assaulted by a cat?
Yeah, he came and bit me. It was ridiculous. Like, you don't get to sit up here and then fucking bite the shit out of me.
It was a love bite.
Dude, he's mean about it.
He doesn't mean to be.
Yeah. I'm sure he looks like he meant it. But yeah, I felt like the emotion that she showed and like how lost she was, and then her just like leaving.
Yeah.
Because she's remembering everything. It's like, that was insanely like heart-wrenching for me.
Then there was that beautiful shot where she flies up in front of the moon.
Oh my god, yeah.
That was an amazing shot.
It was beautiful.
And then, like, any time that they have, like, Johnny's flame reflections in her just looked great.
Yeah. She was honestly my favorite part of the movie. I thought she was
I
so
think
cool.
it's fully understandable. She was done so well.
Dude. And I don't know, all of her scenes were just... She was honestly even part of the chilling aspect of Galactus because she set him up so well that you were like, oh shit, Galactus is here. Like...
As soon as she started heralding,
yeah,
you're like, oh damn, shit's going down.
Yeah.
Like, she comes down in a meteor storm of, like, cosmic rays and stuff.
Yeah, and her being able to, like,
sky.
Go through that portal and fly through the whatever they're going through, the warp shit, and then getting out of a black hole. Yeah. Like, how did she even do that?
That entire sequence where, like, they not only meet Galactus, but then obviously they're trying to get away from him, and then she's chasing them on the ship, I thought was, like, that's top MCU moments for me.
Yeah,
I loved it.
That was like an intense chase scene.
The soundtrack, like, swelled up with, like, an orchestra.
Yeah.
And you had like that slow motion where she's like reaching into Sue's stomach to take the baby.
That was scary.
Yeah, I fucking...
And Sue was like, kill her right now.
Yeah.
That was crazy. She's like, kill that bitch.
I just absolutely loved it. And when they, like, I think it's when they arrive at the black hole, but it might be a little bit later, but I don't know. When they arrive at the black hole, she, like, surfs around it, which is sick. Like, they had a couple of shots here where she was actually surfing on, like, space debris, which was just great.
I did see some of that. It was wonderfully done.
It was such a simple thing to have that character do, and they executed it amazingly. But yeah, that black hole sequence was great, and it was a good plan.
And I felt like all the CGI looked so good and kind of natural in a way. Like, Ben, he looked amazing. And
oh yeah, consistently very good.
And I enjoyed it every time he was on screen. I feel like I liked that they tried to give him a love interest. I don't feel like it was that well done. But I mean, neither was like the Johnny or Silver Surfer one. Like they were just kind of like there. I don't really care about the fact that they're gonna get together. But it was nice that he had that little storyline and he got to go back to his old haunts and like just him thinking about life and stuff. Now that he's...
I really enjoyed this version of the Thing where it's like Mr. Fantastic, the Invisible Woman, and Human Torch are celebrities.
Yeah.
And even though the Thing is a celebrity, he still wears his old cap with the B on it, still dresses like he probably used to, still goes down Yancey Street and like everyone calls him Ben.
It was really cute.
Everyone knows him. And it, like... In the previous films, they made it, like, very obvious that the guy is distraught about the way that he looks. It's a huge part of the character. But in this, they went for it being really subtle, which I thought worked a lot better. You see, like, when the news report thing on the TV is on, and it switches off for the curfew, and he's just staring at his reflection for a couple more moments. Yeah. Like, that sad... he's got that quiet, sad depression about him that he doesn't bring up because he's a people pleaser. He doesn't want to be the issue. He doesn't want to, have people worrying about him.
Like, what are they gonna do? There's no way to cure it, so it's like just something he has to deal with now for the rest of his life. It's sad, but I feel like being able to convey that amount of emotion through a rock face is incredible.
Oh yeah, the actor did amazing.
Yeah.
Such a good job. And they finally showed Ben being Jewish.
Yeah.
He's like one of the most famous Jewish Marvel characters. And he's been in 3 films. Good God. But yeah, I thought the Thing was great. And I liked his banter with Johnny. I liked that the banter that they had, it didn't... In the old films, it kind of seemed like Johnny was being a dickhead to him and bullying him.
No, this was so nice. They were like actual family. Like, genuinely, like, Johnny was ribbing him, but in like a lighthearted, fun way. And then when they were fucking flying and he's like, it's clobbering time, someone in my theater repeated it at the same time. It was hilarious.
That is funny.
It was like...
I like...
And then it does really nothing.
Yeah, any kind of team up between the two of them was just great. I really want to see their chemistry more and their like little bantering off of each other.
Yeah. I thought for sure... Well, I guess we haven't gotten into the end scene, but I feel like we should go there.
Well, yeah, we can go there. Before we do, but what did you think of Mole Man and the plan?
I thought, it does a solid plan.
The first plan.
I was
glad. First plan with the egg and the bridge. The first plan.
Oh, that was a dumbass plan. That was a terrible plan. Where were they going to go?
That's my thing.
Just
I was like, you've not really considered... I thought for a sec, because obviously we had no fucking idea. Everyone assumed that they were going to go into the 616 in this film.
Right,
So... I was like, okay, if you move an Earth, you're going to cause an incursion.
Yeah.
That's incursion territory. Are we going to do that? Because this feels like the film not to do that, even though it's what I wanted going into it. Once you get like an hour in, you're like, whoa, hold up a second. It would feel weird to now do time runs out and incursions and shit.
I agree.
I'm glad that I like the plan, even though it's stupid. It's a very comic booky plan.
Yeah. Let's just move the planet. Okay, buddy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where are we moving it to? Like, what about gravitational pull and the ecosystem and the atmosphere and the sun? Like, what the fuck are we doing? But Reed was just, we can do it.
Yeah, and it was cool to see like all the countries working together to build these all across the world. That was an interesting thing to put in there. I really liked how connected the world was because of the Fantastic Four. I felt like that was very cool and interesting. They're definitely much better than we are, or the main MCU is when it comes to that shit.
I think it's very telling of, like, they're the only superheroes that are there.
Yeah, and they're doing a good job until this point, like, a really good job.
Yeah, I think if you compare it to, like, Phase 1 and the Avengers, I mean, the Avengers,
that was a
they did what they
show.
Could, but yeah, a lot of shit got destroyed,
also,
and a nuke almost went off.
Also, it was, they definitely took better steps, even when Galactus came, to, like, minimize the damage that was gonna happen to people, which they didn't have a chance to in the Avengers. So that was nice to see.
You like Mole Man?
I did. I liked Mole Man. I liked how he fucking rage baited freaking all of them basically, except for Sue.
Or when he's inside and they want to ask him for his help, I guess.
Yeah, he's like, butter me up.
Yeah,
lay it on thick.
Lay it on thick. He was really, really cool.
Reed Richards got so pissed off. Oh my god. No,
I hope that they find an excuse to keep him around in the future for something.
Yeah, I do too.
But it's weird because there's a lot of striking similarities between, again, I'm dodging around getting to the final act because there's so much to talk about.
Yeah.
But in terms of, like, there being a black hole, there being a child at risk, there being the entire world at risk, and the city getting evacuated, it's very similar to Superman.
I had noticed that too. I was like, man, 2 movies in like 2 weeks of just black holes.
Yeah, it's very weird how conveniently similar they are, because you know damn well that, like, it wasn't intentional.
No. I feel like,
not
honestly,
now that he's jumped ship.
Honestly, it's like, there's only so much stuff you can do with space movies, alien movies, like, sci-fi. Like, we're gonna have some overlap. It just is crazy how much overlap there was.
Yeah, and, like, family being the heart of the story as well that, like, ends the entire thing. Yeah. They're just... And even when you look at the visuals of it, this is the first MCU film in quite a while that is, like, so vibrant and so colourful.
Yeah.
And so comic accurate. It's very similar to Superman.
I thought it was nice how colorful it looked and how good it still was. Like, even Mr. Fantastic's powers, like, when he was actually using them, I was like, man, it doesn't look stupid or weird. Like, it kind of does because it's Mr. Fantastic, but he looks stupid and weird in the comics, too. So, like...
Yeah, it's just always going to look
extremely
Uncanny Valley.
Yeah, it doesn't look extremely weird and wrong.
So, okay. Here we go. The final act.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on it? Go on, hit me with it. How do you feel about Galactus? The plan with the baby? Herbie got destroyed. Do you like Herbie?
I did like Herbie. Herbie got destroyed?
Well, he got destroyed, but then he was rebuilt again in the end credits. Jesus. But yeah, when Galactus reaches into the Baxter building, he gets destroyed, and
damn.
I could have cried.
Oh
I was so upset. I loved Herbie.
Herbie was
So I was happy to see him again.
He was very helpful. They should have been called the Fantastic Five already.
He went into space with them. Yeah. He was there for the Galactus thing.
He was the most helpful person on the team, I swear to God.
He was doing great.
He's the reason they even managed to make it out of the black hole, because he took over for Ben, and Ben had to go help deliver the baby. Like, he saved their lives multiple times, and then he tried to save the kid's life. He was a G.
So, Galactus came down on his throne.
Oh, yeah, that was cool. The throne thing was cool, and then it got weird when he, like, started walking.
I thought it was interesting that they had, like... I mean, we both know that I like my Godzilla films, and I like my Kong and my Kaiju stuff.
Yeah.
So, this was, like, right down my alley.
Yeah.
I do think that it was definitely a choice that has upset people to do it this way, because people wanted, like, the cosmic horror thing. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, I'm like, look, this is the only way that you were ever going to really do it. Yeah. And it makes sense and it'd be a decent film.
I agree.
I thought it was interesting that, like, because if you think about him being on the ship for so long and the ship is, like, processing these planets and feeding him, I liked that he took, like, a handful of dirt and sniffed it.
Yeah.
He was like getting a smell for his upcoming meal. He was like, this is what it all smells like down here. This is interesting.
The aroma of the planet I'm about to consume. Like a wine
I thought
taster.
That was really cool. Exactly. And when he goes for the plan, I guess, and he stops his foot and he's like, clever little bugs. Yeah. That's a posh motherfucker. He's an upper class proper gentleman that you are not fooling today, sir.
I thought it was very cool that he saw through their plan.
Yeah.
Right.
It would have been shit if he'd fallen for it.
Yeah.
Good God. You just bait him into the bridge and he's gone. Which I think, I like the sort of overwhelming sense of defeat when Surfer is destroying the bridge teleporters.
Yeah.
But I like the switch up in the plan where Reed is like, oh, we'll just fucking teleport him. Now that's a plan I can get behind.
Yeah, that was a way better plan. Way better possible outcomes, although hopefully they sent him somewhere where there's no other planets, because otherwise I feel like he'll probably just start consuming planets again.
Well, I think that's how you get to your cosmic horror. Like, that's how you get to your evolved version.
Ship. He has no ship to use as a crutch. He's got to do this all manually.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, what did you think? You got a lot of like Reed springing around the place, the thing cannonballing into Galactus's face.
I liked that nothing really, like, everything just bounced right off of him for the most part.
Yeah.
And I did like that Invisible Woman was the baddest bitch in the whole movie. And was the only one who could do anything to Galactus. That was awesome.
She was amazing.
I was actually gonna start sobbing when I thought she was dead, but I knew that, like, Franklin was very powerful, like, for real. So I was like, hopefully this baby's about to bring her back to life, but I'm really upset right now.
I genuinely feel like, I want to say, because that scene was drawn out quite a bit. Yeah. I want to say for like a full minute, I was on the brink of tears, and I fully believed that she had died, and they were going like the ultimate version.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god, she's fucking dead, and we're gonna get the Maker, and oh my god.
I expected one of them to die. I expected it to be Johnny Storm when he was gonna go, well, not die in that aspect. I feel like if he had gone through the portal with Galactus, we would have gotten, like,
trapped in the negative zone or something.
That would have been cool. I thought that's where that was headed, and then that didn't happen because the Silver Surfer came and saved the day, which was cool. But, and then, I was like, oh, they're gonna kill Invisible Woman, and then it's gonna be a variant of her when they go into Doomsday, and they're gonna have to face, like, their evil wife and sister. Like, that would be crazy, but they would not do that either.
That was my train of thought, was like, oh, this version's gonna die and they're gonna have to meet like another version of her, and that's why she's in like the casting list and stuff. But then of course, then my brain sort of clicked into gear and I was like, never mind, he's holding Franklin. He's holding Franklin.
Yeah, the most powerful person in the fucking universe.
But yeah, that whole scene where she's like, put my kid down, and she starts physically moving Galactus is phenomenal.
Yeah. And it made sense that it did cause her so much like damage to the point where she was gonna die. I did like that they added that in, that it wasn't that easy for her to do that. She was just, it's like moving a car, you know, for someone trapped under it, like the adrenaline, and her baby's in danger. She needs to do this, otherwise, like, they're all gonna die. Like, that's an ultimate sacrifice moment.
And it's worth noting as well that, like, Sue has always been incredibly powerful in the comics. But they've never really portrayed that in the films that much. Like, the first two films, she was mostly just there as, like, you know, it's Jessica Alba, she's pretty, we're gonna have to strip down naked to go invisible, that kind of thing.
Look at the blonde lady, she looks so cute. Oh my god.
I think they did a decent job in the 2015 one, and they had some cool moments where, like, they're flying through portals or whatever, and she's helping them float with her force fields and shit. But there was she never really got anything past that. She was still like a backseat kind of character. So I like that she was the powerhouse. She was the only one that made like a dent to Galactus, and she's probably like, you're never gonna see her level up like that many times. It's not going to be like a frequent thing of like, oh well, she's on Sentry or Franklin levels of powerful. Like, no, when it matters, she can pull out the stops. It doesn't mean that she's just going to be constantly overpowered.
Yeah, but her power set, like, that's a pretty good power set to have when she uses it in a clever way, which she does all the time.
Yeah,
like, she knows how to use her powers in a way that can be either offensive or defensive, and that's a good person to have.
So then we had the final ending sequence where they, like, she straight up pushes Galactus into the bridge teleporter, but then he's climbing back out of it because there's still time left.
Right.
And of course, Johnny is going to make the ultimate sacrifice. I don't really know what he would have done, because I don't think he would have been able to push Galactus in
I was expecting him to go supernova.
Well, that's kind of where my brain was, but then he didn't, and I was like, well, what are you going to do then? You're just going to kamikaze into his face and die.
Yeah, pretty much.
But then, of course, he gets knocked out of the way by Shalabal, who kamikazes herself.
Arguably a better person to be on this mission, probably will survive that situation.
Yeah.
Unless Galactus
wouldn't be surprised if we see her again.
Her.
I think we're going to see both of these characters again at some stage.
I wonder if they sent them through a multiversal portal.
Yep, it's an option. The bridge in the New Avengers looks into multiverses.
Yeah. They might have sent him to another universe.
One that conveniently starts with a 6 and ends with a 6. To start devouring. It wouldn't surprise me at all, and I think if we see him again, he will be the big cosmic horror planet-eating version of him.
It would be interesting if they did it to where, they did send him to another universe, to that Earth, and then that, like, the bridge that they used causes it to pull their planet into the incursion.
Yeah.
And then that's kind of how it starts. That'd be interesting, but I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do.
I think there's so many different options, and I'm going to be sad if, like, God, I guess that's the whole point of it, really, but when we get to, like, Doomsday and the incursions happening and stuff, like, you're going to have these planets now that we've kind of lived with for a bit, so we kind of have more emotional attachment. Obviously, nobody wants the 616 sacred timeline planet to get lost in an incursion, and it probably won't, but, like, if we're in a scenario where it's 616 versus the fucking 828 or whatever, Like, I'm sorry, but the 828's got to go.
Yeah, 828 only has the Fantastic Four. Just let the Fantastic Four hop over. And then we'll be good.
Like, I'm so curious as to how they're going to deal with the whole concept of, like, all of these people that we've now seen that, like, admire and love the Fantastic Four have now got to die for the Fantastic Four to live.
Yeah.
Is gonna be crazy. And the same with, like, when we see the X-Men, like, whatever world that they live on, it's gonna be heavily suggested that it's like the original X-Men trilogy, or like something vaguely related because of the actors and stuff.
Yeah.
So I think there's gonna be a strong emotional connection, and I'm gonna be very, very intrigued how they deal with the incursions.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, they could. I mean, I think their plan is to kill off all these universes and make one new one. So, I mean, I think any single timeline is up for grabs when it comes to destroying it.
I hadn't even considered that the 616 gets destroyed.
Yeah, it might. That would be rough.
That would make sense for the, like, when they reset, it's like an amalgamation of all of them.
I do think that when they do that, they need to be prepared that a lot of people are not going to keep watching Marvel movies.
I think that they are prepared, but I think they're also prepared to bring new people on board with, like, this fresh reset.
That's valid. That makes sense.
So, how would you rate it?
I would give it a solid 7 out of 10. High on especially comparing it to the other, like, Fantastic Four movies. I definitely enjoyed it a lot.
So you put it on par with Superman?
Yeah.
Bloody hell. What didn't you like about it?
I can't say there was much that I was like, oh, this is terrible.
There just wasn't enough for you to be like, oh, this is astounding.
Yeah.
That's fair enough.
I mean, I guess maybe I would put it a little bit higher. Because there wasn't much that was bad about it. I mean, and the person I went with was like, I wish it was a standalone, but it was a standalone, and I was kind of pissed about that.
Yeah.
He said that it's not because they're going to be in Doomsday, but I'm like, if you just watch this movie, it, like, has a beginning and has an end. Fuck the end credit scenes. Like, it's a standalone film.
Yeah, but even if you've got the end credit scene, like, Doom is a Fantastic Four villain.
I know. That could mean
so it's
anything.
Still... Exactly. You can definitely watch this, like, on its own. The only thing that suggests that it's connected to a different universe is when the little subtitle pops up at the start, telling you what Earth this is.
Yeah. So it's like... I think that was, like, probably the best part of it, is that they didn't do some kind of multiverse jump like we thought they were going to do, and they kept it its own movie, its own universe. Like, maybe in the next one, sure, we'll start doing all this multiverse travel, but I did like that it was just this one movie on its own to start the Fantastic Four.
That was, like, definitely a criticism that I saw people popping up with like, oh, well, we don't know how they pop up in Thunderbolts now. And it's like, yeah, but you're gonna find that out. Like, when you compare... Because there's been a lot of comparisons between where we were pre-Infinity War and where we are pre-Doomsday. And, like, pre-Infinity War, we didn't have the Avengers. We didn't know where certain characters were. We didn't know how they were going to team up or link up. We had characters... You know, Thor and the Asgardians were fucking miles away, and Guardians were at the other side of the galaxy, and the whole point was bringing them all together.
Yeah.
And that's going to be the same point with Doomsday. If you do it all beforehand, then you leave very little for the 2.5-hour blockbuster film that you've got to then release.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that, like, I think the film should have come out before Thunderbolts.
Yeah.
Because... then the Thunderbolt end credit would have been, oh, those characters are coming.
I feel the same, actually. And now I'm worried that it's not the Fantastic Four even in there, and that I think you might have mentioned that it might be Doom before.
So there's been theories that it could be the X-Men. I have a theory that
know.
it's Doom with Franklin. I think he's fucking stole. I think we're gonna get a scene where he steals Franklin and he takes their ship and he's gone.
I mean, hey, that would honestly make the most sense to me. I don't think it's the X-Men. But like they released that thing where it said that the director of the Fantastic Four movie didn't even know that was an end credit scene in Thunderbolts that would have to be tied in. Like, clearly that's not supposed to happen yet in the Fantastic Four movie. Just like, and I feel like it's weird because we've had so many things where the chronological order is different than the order that it comes out, but people still get confused. Yeah. I guess because they don't explain it well, but like you can infer that this isn't necessarily on the same timeline as the original and as the main MCU timeline. Like,
yeah,
they're still in the past. Their whole universe is still in the past, even though they've got modern technology. Like, it's a completely different. It's crazy. I don't know. You can't really connect it the same way.
I think a simple example is kind of like what they did with. They've done it with end credit scenes before, but like Black Widow. Like, the end credit scene for that, even though the entire film from start to finish takes place between Civil War and Infinity War, the end credit scene takes place after Endgame.
Yeah.
So, like, you can't... Going into that, if you didn't watch Endgame and you went to go watch this Black Widow film, you'd then be really fucking confused when you watch the end credits and you're like, oh, she's dead? Like, what?
Right.
But the end credit for Age of Ultron is like Thanos getting the gauntlet and being like, oh, I'll do it myself, which apparently chronologically takes place closer to Infinity War than it does Age of Ultron, even though it's in there.
Yeah.
So, I think I don't know, I still think it would have made more sense and it would have made for a better storytelling reveal to have Fantastic Four come out, like, last year.
I agree.
And then, like, you know, you finish Thunderbolts and you're like, holy shit, they're coming. Otherwise, because then you wouldn't even have to put the alternate Earth thing. You could fully release that film as like a standalone, and then the big surprise is at the end of Thunderbolts.
Yeah.
But I've got a strong feeling that ship is going to crash land somewhere, and somebody that knows RDJ's face is going to watch that man walk out, and they're going to be like, Tony? And it's Tony with a little child in his hands.
Oh,
and he's
that
like,
would be terrible.
Yes, I am Tony Stark now. What did you think of what we saw so far, at least, of that one shot? What did you think of Doom's outfit?
I mean, I didn't see anything, so I don't know.
You get to see his mask.
He's like holding it in his hand, though. I don't know what it looks like.
And yet there's been so much discourse about it.
Really?
Such a simple thing. And to me, it's like, unless this scene is cut down and it's going to be a longer scene in Doomsday, I agree with you that it could have been fucking anybody underneath that cloak.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, it gives off vibes of like, we need a Doom end credit scene to tease Doomsday. Somebody put a cloak and grab one of the Doombot masks from the set, from the prop department. Yeah, go dress up Roger in one of the Doom cloaks and a Doombot mask and go get him to crouch near this kid.
And that's
because
That's
we need
an
end credit scene.
That's the whole scene, is he's crouching next
But Franklin's
to the kid
touching his face.
Oh my god. Oh, that's crazy. Oh my god. What?
Do you reckon he's turning him into RDJ?
No. I don't reckon he's
Do you reckon
doing
he's
anything.
healing him? You don't think... There's no theory there for you?
No.
I don't think there is either, but a lot of people are saying that it's significant.
Okay.
I think he just knows who Doom is.
I don't think this kid knows how to do anything yet. He saved his mom's life because he was sad that his mom wasn't hugging him. You know, like,
that's
why.
Fair, actually.
It's not like he had this... I mean, Galactus said that thing like he was hiding from Reed, but he could be doing that subconsciously. None of that is necessarily like an active power that he has the ability to use. I don't think he knows
I hadn't
what
even
he's doing.
thought about that.
So,
and I think it is canon in the comics that like he deliberately, or not deliberately, but like you said, subconsciously puts like mental blockers there so that he can have a normal childhood.
Yeah. Which makes sense.
So, yeah, that would be interesting if like Doom takes this kid because this kid is powerful and he's like, shit, I need
this
to age this kid up. Yeah. He's like, fuck, I wasted all this time and I jumped across the multiverse and this kid, all he does is fucking blabble at me and say the word doom over and over again.
And cry because his teeth hurt.
And fucking cry. God. But yeah, so, God, I can't believe you're rating it the same as Superman.
Why?
Wow. Well, this is the last episode of the 616, people.
What is wrong with that?
The last episode, the finale. I just thought you would rate it a little bit higher, that's all.
A little higher? I don't know.
Yeah, but then I don't really think... Because I said to you I didn't realise how much of a Fantastic Four fan I was. So... I feel like maybe if I prefer them more than you do, then it makes sense.
Yeah, but also, I feel like every movie I come out of, I enjoy it, and then later on, I'm like, okay, maybe my rating, when I kind of think about all the movies I've seen, it might be a little bit lower, which I feel like I'm doing with Superman, is like, it was a fun film. I really enjoyed it coming out of the theater. Now I'm thinking back about, like, the storyline, I'm like, oh, maybe it'd be a little bit lower. Just a little bit. And I feel like I'll probably do the same with Fantastic Four when I can actually pick it apart. But at the same time,
going to see it a second time definitely helped.
Yeah. And at the same time, like, I might like it more too. Like, I might be like, oh, actually, this might be more, like, better for me. But I don't know. It's hard for me to
You know what, Ryan?
Likeness.
Fuck you. I gave it a 10.
Whatever. Whatever.
No, I do. For me, at least, it is definitely up there with, like, Iron Man 1, Civil War. Not unlike... Good. Not in terms of, like, obviously I don't think this is to the same scale as a film like Civil War.
Right.
But I think it's, like, polished, and there's nothing that I could say they could do better. There's no glaring plot holes in it. I don't have any issues with how it was written, directed, produced, you know.
Yeah.
Everything to me was just a great film for me.
And they explained all the science easily. I felt like I understood what was happening, which I'm a pro at mumbo jumbo when it comes to science in comic books and stuff, so I can just infer, but it's still, sometimes they're trying to talk about what they're doing and you're just like, what the fuck is happening?
They go like all Doctor Who,
and
they're just spitting out quantum space-time continuum, spatial recognition, timey-wimey shit.
You're just supposed to go, alright, I guess.
Yeah.
But no, they did a good job of, like, everything that they were dealing with seemed realistic and, well, not, like, obviously that realistic, but still, like, within the realm of understandability.
Would you say that you did, like, which out of the two won for you in terms of the summer superhero film?
Well, I feel like if I say Superman, they're going to be upset with me.
You feel inclined to say Fantastic Four, but it's fine if it's not. I don't have an issue with that.
I don't know. I like them both so much.
So much that all we did for an hour was talk shit about Superman.
We did, yeah. Okay,
maybe and then praise Fantastic Four for an hour.
Maybe Fantastic Four was my better movie.
Bloody hell. I don't want to pressure you into giving an opinion that is not yours. I don't mind either way. Like, I've said before, whatever, we each have, like, and we'll do dedicated episodes to them and stuff, but we've each got, like, our own favourite films and shit.
I think that because of the hype around Superman, that made it, like, superhero film of the summer, and because of, like, it was really exciting to see, even though we've seen, like, Peacemaker and stuff, this is really the start of the new DC universe. So all of that culminated into it being a more exciting, like, thing for me to go see. But Fantastic Four was so good that, like, I would personally put it higher than Superman.
I do have to agree that, like, the vibes around Superman were a lot more, like, positive and hopeful and, like, you know, at the start of a whole new cinematic universe.
Yeah.
Like, that excitement of you know, what this could lead to and stuff, compared to like another chapter in the MCU.
Yeah.
After like the past couple of years and stuff, I think like you kind of go into Marvel films with lower expectations, and even if I left Superman not really having enjoyed it as much as other people did, it's still, I agree that there was a lot more hype around going to see it, and like I couldn't even get a Fantastic Four cinema cup. Dude, couldn't even get a fucking cinema cup.
I was like, what? They have no merchandise. They have these tin popcorn buckets. I'm like, I don't want that. I'm going to use that as a trash can. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, fuck that.
Yeah, no, there was no merch at all at the theater.
Shit like that factors into it quite a bit, and I think that, yeah, I mean, both films did really great in terms of like their PR and their marketing. I love the interviews with the cast and James Gunn.
And James Gunn.
I like, you know, Corin Sweat being his natural geeky, nerdy self, and then seeing like how nice, you know, Pedro and Quinn and everyone get along and whatever. It was a cool dynamic to see. It was all very like, they're both very heartwarming films.
Yeah.
I think it was a huge mistake.
Hope and love.
It is, but it shouldn't have been, because as a result, the box office is going to be fucked for both of them. They should have released further apart.
Like a month or two, I think. Would have been fine.
Yeah, definitely.
But like a
you
year
could have had
been
Fantastic
great.
Four in August.
Yeah. Very true. Very, very true.
I don't understand at all.
Stop doing this to me.
It's another example of like Kevin Feige doing the counter programming that he did for like when he released Civil War deliberately near BVS.
Yeah.
And I feel like this is under the same vein of like, oh, I'm going to release this film near Superman in the hopes that it's going to stagger Superman a bit.
No.
And it kind of didn't, because of the state that the MCU is currently in.
Yeah. That was kind of
so I don't know if it was worth it.
Weird pull for them. I don't think I would have ever put the Fantastic Four as being on par with a Superman movie. Like, Superman is such a household name. I love the Fantastic Four. I don't, but we know the Fantastic Four because we've been into Marvel comics. Like, regular people know Spider-Man from Marvel, and most people don't even know that Spider-Man, Batman, and Superman aren't all in the same universe.
Yeah.
So it's like, those are like the three heroes everybody knows. Unfortunately, Marvel only has one. So they need to maybe think about that a little bit harder when it's coming to like a Superman movie. Maybe if it was like Wonder Woman or like some kind of ensemble DC film, I could see that. But a straight first time out Superman film, you're not beating it.
I think it's just the rule of thumb for anything in any genre. Like, you don't want too many horror films in the same area. You don't want like too many similarly themed comedy films and that kind of stuff. Like, if fucking like Nobody 2 comes out this month, if that had come out the same month as Ballerina, that's too much John Wick action.
Yeah.
Too much. So I feel like it's just the rule of thumb of like, it shouldn't be about competition. It should be about you making money for your film and your film benefiting. So
yeah.
And we haven't got any more Marvel films for the rest of the year. I think they should have amped up the snowy scenery shit at the final act and made this a Christmas film.
That would have been cool.
Imagine Galactus fucking throwing a Christmas tree.
That would be awesome. Like it's all the lights strung up and everything looks winter
exactly.
Wonderland. He's fucking mowing all of it down.
That's what I'm saying. Big footprints in the snow, and you can have fucking the Thing throw a giant snowball at him.
That would have been really cool.
I don't understand at all why they didn't go down. Well, maybe they thought it'd be too silly, but
I think it would have fit the vibes of the movie.
Yeah, I think they definitely could have done something there. Otherwise, why have it set like around October, December time?
Yeah.
And then be a summer film.
Wild.
There's also a lot cut from the film in regards of like the first act. there's like the opening montage, I guess. It seems like it was meant to be like a full set piece because John Malkovich was cast to play Red Ghost, and all we see are his chimps.
Yeah.
But some of the action sequences that are put into that montage look like they could be pieced together to form a bigger scene. They're not, they're not actually at different points in time. They're all kind of the same event.
Oh, interesting.
So, yeah, I'm curious if when that releases on DVD, if there's any behind the scenes, cut stuff that they end up re-releasing.
That'd be cool.
Because John Malkovich is a pretty big name as well to be casting as a character and then cutting him from your film.
Yeah. That's pretty crazy.
But there we go. 7 out of 10 from Ryan. 10 out of 10 from me. And not another Marvel film for the rest of the year.
Yeah. Time to starve.
Well, we've got Marvel Zombies, which I probably won't watch, I'll be honest. And we've got Wonder Man.
Yeah, I actually need to, because I'm watching the Loki season 2, and I need to watch Secret Invasion, because I never got around to that. So I guess I do have some homework I gotta get
yeah, I
finished.
have to do Secret Invasion at some point.
Maybe we should do it together.
We could do it together and then talk about it. Because I kind of know some of the stuff that happens in it, but I've never watched it.
Yeah, you'll have to wait till I finish Loki, though, so you have time.
No, that's fine. But we've got Wonder Man, which I'm quite excited for, even though I don't really know much about the character. I'm just excited for like another link to Scarlet Witch being brought up. And I'm sure that he will be influential in the new era of Marvel, because he's quite a prominent member of the Avengers, I would say, or the West Coast Avengers.
You think we're gonna see Scarlet Witch again?
Just period.
Yeah.
Yes.
Did they confirm her for anything, or?
Nope.
No. Man,
they are like fully, like, as far as Elizabeth Olsen is concerned, she's done with the character. Scarlet Witch is dead.
I've been worried about her.
What, Elizabeth Olsen?
No, just the character,
oh.
not the actress. I mean,
I feel like you'd seen her on social media and she looked sick.
No.
I do think it's... I don't think they would have brought Wiccan into the fold if they didn't have confidence that you would at least get some sort of reuniting scene between, like, the kids, Vision and Wanda.
I don't know. They might be replacing her.
They could replace her, and look, I'm not an Elizabeth Olsen fucking truther, okay? If we can get Scarlet Witch back at the cost of losing Elizabeth Olsen, then so be it.
Yeah, that's fine.
Fair enough. For me,
some people
like,
are gonna hate that you said that.
I know, because people fucking like adore Elizabeth Olsen as Scarlet Witch, and I understand it. But at the end of the day, I'm like, now we got stories to tell. We got Young Avengers to establish. We got gays to harbinge. We've got a Hulkling to bring into the fold. We got progress to be making, and we cannot be hindered by Elizabeth Olsen umming and ahhing about the character.
Yeah, that's valid.
I think she'll be back though. Even if it wouldn't surprise me, like, if she dies or something, but I think she's gonna be there in both Doomsday and Secret Wars.
Yeah. That would be nice. I really like Scarlet Witch.
Maybe, like, the point of Doomsday is them realizing that they need Scarlet Witch to help them or some shit. I don't know, because of how powerful she is.
Maybe.
If you've got a threat like Doom, I think...
Or maybe...
I don't know, I've had it...
She's on Doom's side.
Ugh,
I need
like
somebody...
Children's Crusade.
I need somebody to be, like, on Doom's side.
I'd be fine with it if it wasn't RDJ Doom.
I know.
Because, like, the whole point in the comics is that they're in a relationship.
Oh, yeah.
And in the MCU, like, even if you disregard the age gap, Tony Stark is the reason that Wanda is the way she is.
Yeah, no. That's not happening.
So I think it would be really fucking distasteful if they go down that route. But if it was, if we had Mads Mikkelsen, I'd be like, yeah, get that fucking sugar daddy dude. Go for it. Why not? But it's not Mads Mikkelsen, so...
Unfortunately.
But yeah, I do think she'll be there. I think she'll be a very... My theory initially was that she was going to be the Molecule Man equivalent, which you'll understand as you get into Time Runs Out what I mean by that.
Okay.
But yeah, I think that she's definitely going to be a big player, and they're pulling a No Way Home, and if anybody asks her, she ain't fucking interested, and if anybody, if any leaks come out, they're just going to be disregarded as bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
They're very aware of the popularity of Scarlet Witch post-Endgame. There's a reason that, like, the MCU revolved around the Scarlet Witch for 2 years after Endgame, and, like, you're continuing to see echoes of her in Agatha All Along and Vision Quest, and, if they decide to tie Wonder Man into her and stuff,
Right. I do think
she's very influential.
I just think that her in Multiverse of Madness, she was probably the best part of that film, and she was so creepy.
Oh, easily.
And that's why I kind of want to see her be, like, kind of a bad guy again. Because it's like, she's so creepy and cool.